I audited 100 business YouTube channels, and after about 30 of them, I realized they were all making the exact same mistakes. And it turns out it's not about posting more, it's not about better editing or finally cracking the algorithm. The channels that couldn't book any calls all had the same handful of problems, and most of them had no idea they were even making them. And by the way, my name is Bogdan, and I help business owners turn YouTube into a client acquisition machine. So spotting these patterns and fixing them is literally my job. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly which of these mistakes is costing you calls and exactly how to fix it. So after going through all 100 channels, 6 patterns kept showing up, and I naturally decided to split this video into 6 different sections covering every single of these patterns. So let's start with the first one, which is titled "Nobody knows who you're talking to." And there are 2 different cases for this pattern right here that I noticed while auditing these channels. First one is that a lot of business owners, when they're creating their ICP, they're going too broad, as you can see, and if your ICP is unclear, nobody's going to feel called out enough to stop scrolling, and in the end it is going to result in nobody clicking your video. I have also seen the opposite mistake, and that is the business owner who are going too narrow with their ICP, so they were literally talking to 5 people on earth. As you can see, it will be something like this super small circle, and here's how it should look like. Here's how it should look like just right when our ICP is perfect. So as I already said, if you go too broad, nobody's going to watch your video, nobody's going to feel called out enough, they're going to be okay, this is generic. If you go too narrow with your ICP, people are definitely going to feel like called out, but it is only going to be like a handful of them, and that's pretty much it. What if you go just right, we're going to match these numbers perfectly, we're going to reach a lot of people, and they're going to feel like super called out. They're going to feel like, okay, this video is made for me. Like for my case, this video is for business owners, and it is directly aiming at them. And here are actually some of the examples. First, of the bad ICP, which is too broad. I help people make money. Like, that is everybody, literally everyone wants to make money, so this ICP right here will not work. And on the other hand, we have too narrow ICP example, which is like, I help left-handed business owners from Cape Verde make money, which is again too narrow. We are not going to be able to present our services to a lot of people. In the end, we're not going to make as much money as we want. Here's actually how it should look like, approximately like a good example. I help business owners at 20 to 30 calls a month with YouTube client acquisition system. Right here, you can see the audience call out right here. Then we have what I'm going to help them with, not something generic like make money or something like that. And exactly in which way, in this case, it is YouTube client acquisition system. So you should have something prepared for your ICP just like that. And actually nailing your ICP will decide your topics of your videos, your language in the videos itself, and your social proof that you're going to present. And if you get this wrong, booking call is going to go totally downstream, because you're going to again have 2 different cases. The first one is going to be people are not going to feel called out enough, so they're not going to book a call and watch the video in the first place. And the second case is that people are going to be called out enough, but again, it is so small number of people that it is only a question if your video is going to reach them. And on the other hand, if you get your ICP right, booking calls is going to become a lot easier. And I'm actually the living proof of this, because after only 3 videos posted, I booked my first call just because my ICP was right and my videos pointed at the exact same person that I was targeting. In the end, he watched the video and he felt called out enough, and he booked a call with me. And if you want to nail your ICP quickly, you just need to answer these questions right here. First one is, who is my ICP actually? Like, what is he doing in all this stuff? What is their current situation? What is their dream outcome? What are their fears and frustrations? And what are their desires? And this is the only way that you can actually fix this pattern that I saw after auditing over 100 videos. So yeah, and this is also the best and quickest way to do it. So now that we finished with the pattern number 1, we can move to the pattern number 2 that I saw while auditing other channels, and it is every video is a dead end. And this one again has 2 different cases, and both of them are actually killing your calls equally. And the first case we are going to cover is the actual broken chain. We have random video 1, which is not chained to another video, which is not chained to another, etc, etc. When you're doing something like this, for example, I'm posting to business owners, my next video is about, I don't know, maybe vlog or something random like that, or me targeting entertainment guys or something like that, which is not super connected and videos are not flowing. People are just going to watch one of your videos, and in the end, they're not going to have anything to watch. They're just going to leave out your channel, and you're not going to ever build trust and enough authority with them, so they're actually going to convert. And on the other hand, we have the case number 2, which is called the stranger's proof. And this case happens only if you post client interviews on your YouTube channel. As you can see, client interview 1, 2, 3, 4, and nobody cares about your client interviews if they don't know who you are yet. People are skeptical by default now, because there are too many channels that are faking social proof, and of course, lots of people that are just faking it, making it up, photoshopping it, and all those stuff, which is BS. And in the end, trust is at an all-time low. But keep in mind that this only applies if you want to use YouTube to book calls. If you're using YouTube as a pre-call strategy or sending proof to prospects who already know you, interviews alone are totally fine. Like, as I said, this tactic only works if you're using YouTube as a placeholder for your videos, and that's pretty much it. But if you want to use it to actually get new audience, nurture them, in the end convert them, then you should definitely avoid this thing, because client interviews are definitely the best conversion assets, but in the end, if they're used only on their own, they're not going to convert anyone. And the solution for these two cases is actually pretty simple, and it is the sales funnel. It should consist of top of the funnel, which is there around 50 to 60% of your content, and its only job is to get a new audience, and your audience is pretty cold when they see those videos. And those videos can be how-to videos and all those stuff, action-based. They already have like a whole video dedicated about the funnel, so you can check it right now. Next section is actually middle of the funnel. These are the videos that should be around 20 to 30% of your content. Its only job is to nurture your audience and to set you up as an authority. And in here, your audience is actually pretty warm. They might even convert, but they just need that last piece of proof that is going to prove to them that you actually helped somebody and that you really have the results. And in that place comes the bottom of the funnel videos right here, as we already discussed in the case number 2. And those can be actual client interviews, case studies, and all that. And they should be around 10 to 20% of your content, not 100%. And its only job is to convert. And the audience that is going to watch these videos is already like pretty hot. They're literally ready to give you their money, and they just need, as I already said, that last tiny bit piece of proof. And as I already said, each one of these has its own job. Top of the funnel brings people in, middle of the funnel builds trust, and bottom of the funnel converts. So I'm just going to show you a roadmap of how cold stranger becomes a booked call. First of all, they have a problem. They're looking for a solution on YouTube. Your action-based video, top of the funnel video pops up. They click on it. You solve their problem. They see that you know what you're doing. They come back and start watching some of your other videos. They get to know you, your way of talking, working, and all those stuff. They start seeing you as an authority. They find the client interview of someone who is in the exact same situation as them and how you actually help them. And in the end, they book a call with you. They're going to show up on that call pre-sold, and the result is going to be you're happy and they're absolutely happy. And this actually leads us to the end of the second pattern, so we can move on to the third one, which you noticed, and it is called your packaging is costing you the click. And this one actually comes down to two things: your thumbnail and the title itself, and why it actually matters. You're competing against the biggest channel on the platform, and they're spending a shit ton of money on packaging. Just take a look at Timan's channel right here. You can see this guy literally had 34 changes on this video right here. He changed his thumbnail at least 3 times that I got to capture from this screenshot, and in this video right here you can see he changed his title only 44 times, and the thumbnail actually stayed exactly the same, which is absolutely crazy. But on the other hand, you have guys that are just taking pictures from their videos and slapping them on YouTube, and they're like, okay, this is going to work. And you can actually give away the greatest value. You can have the best scripts in the world, best editing in the world. You can even give money away for free, but if your packaging is trash, nobody's going to click on your video at the first place, and then you can just throw your video at the bin itself, as you can see right here. Great video, but bad packaging, and it ends where it actually deserves to end, and it is the trash can. So now let's cover each one of these, and we're going to start with titles. And titles need to do only 2 things: tell people what the video is about and actually make them click, spark the curiosity. And the most important part of the title needs to be written in the first 55 characters, because that's all that shows on mobile before it gets cut off. As you can see right here, if the title is too long, like right here, we are not going to see it. We are going to see these 3 dots right here, and the original title is I studied 10,000 LinkedIn posts. Here's what gets engagement 2026. And again, as you can see, we got the most important stuff in the first 55 characters, and this part right here only got left out, and it's pretty much it, which is actually amazing. And there are actually 2 types of titles. First one is searchable titles. They're front loaded with the exact keywords your ICP types in the YouTube search itself, and examples are how to actually script a YouTube video that books calls, 55 characters long. This is my video, how to come up with YouTube video ideas that book calls. Again, my video, 55 characters long, perfect length. Then we have the curiosity titles. They're built to grab attention on the browse feed, even if nobody is searching that exact phrase. For example, I studied 10,000 LinkedIn posts. Here's what gets engagement 2026, 68 characters long. And the second one is I sent 1.5 million cold emails last month. Here's what works in 2026, and it is 66 characters long. Now let's move on to the actual thumbnails themselves, and a good thumbnail consists of only 4 things. The first thing being your face should take around 30 to 40% of the frame, showing real emotion that matches the video. Don't do like over expressions or making like Mr. Beast face, like something like this or something goofy and all of those stuff. The second thing is actually 4 words or less. Title is already doing the heavy lifting, and thumbnail needs to add up to the title and not actually repeat it. Moving on to the number 3, we have including logos your audience recognizes, builds instant credibility because of the familiarity. Examples are Stripe, Calendly, YouTube, Instagram, etc. Moving on to number 4, we have bright contrasting colors. Dark backgrounds get buried on the home page because 80% of the people use YouTube dark mode, as you're going to see in examples in just a few moments. So now let's just look at the examples of good thumbnails and the bad thumbnails. First, we have these two right here, and as you can see right here, we can see this business owner right in the center. Behind him we have the a board which is connected to this video, and you also have only 3 words on the screen, which is works super amazing. The thumbnail is bright, it's going to stick out and all those stuff. And on the right side we have this guy right here in his car, and when you see this for the first time, you're going to be okay, maybe this is some late night drive or something like this, but in the end this video is his actual story video, which doesn't make sense for the thumbnail, and I was confused when I saw the first time. So yeah, then we have the other 2 right here. We can see myself right here, again white thumbnail here, white thumbnail right here. We can see clearly about what this video is about, ideas, my face is right here and all those stuff. While right here this video is again like some kind of, if I'm not wrong, like high ticket sales course, and we can see him right here. Again, the thumbnail is messy and all those stuff. We have the activate windows right here, which is interesting. And like thumbnail is just going to feel cheap, and people are going to be like, okay, this is maybe some BS cheap thing and all those stuff. They're not going to click on it. Here actually how these thumbnails look on feed, as I already promised that I will show you. And you can see dark theme, and we can see this thumbnail right here, this right here. We have right here that is popping out. We even see that this thumbnail right here is popping out, but again it looks so cheap compared to others that people are rather going to click any of these other thumbnails. And just imagine you're doing as we can see a video about why high ticket is the best opportunity to 2026. You have this thumbnail where a competitor has premium thumbnail like this one or like mine or something like that. They're just going to naturally click on that video because they're going to be okay, this guy is a lot more professional, I'm going to watch his video. Why would I watch this video right here? Even though you might give them money away for free, as I already said, you can give them opportunities and all those stuff and a lot of knowledge. Like this video have a lot more value than the well-packaged one, but nobody's going to click on it. In the end, you're not going to convert anybody, which means you're not going to make any money. And with that being said, we can actually move to the pattern number 4, which is called you build the asset and then just simply throw it away. And another thing that I noticed while auditing these channels is that a lot of them were actually getting solid engagement but booked 0 calls. And it all came down to what the video tells the viewer in the last 30 seconds. Let's see what the actual cost actually is. You just spent 20 minutes earning someone's trust, giving them value, and then you end the video with nothing. No offer, no next step, no reason for them to stick around for your another video or something like that. You literally just build the asset and throw it away in the bin. That's pretty much it. Now let's see what the actual bad versus good outro looks like. On the left side we have the weak or the bad outro. It ends with something like subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. That's pretty much it. No recap, no offer, no next step, not moving them to another video so you can keep them in the content funnel, not anything. You just told them subscribe and see you in the next one. That's pretty much it, which means you literally spent hours creating this asset. In the end you just threw it in the water, and that's pretty much it. While on the other side we have a strong outro which reminds them of the value they just got, makes them fill the gap between where they are and where they need to be, gives them a clear next step. And here's actually one of the structure examples that I prepared for you. And again, there are different structures for the outros, but I picked this one because I use it the most and I found it best for conversions actually. So yeah, the first step should be the recap. Remind them of everything they just learned. Keep it super short, 1 or 2 sentences covering the main points. This anchors the value in their mind right before you make your ask. Moving on to the step 2, which is acknowledge the gap. They got a lot from this video, but they're still missing something. Name it specifically. Make them feel it. This is what creates the need for what you're about to offer to them. So this leads us to the step number 3, which is 2 options. Give them 2 clear paths. Option 1, go figure it out alone. Option 2, work with me. You need to frame option 2 so it feels like the obvious choice. You need to tell them exactly where to go next, move them to the next step of your funnel. Please don't miss this step. This is the most important step of the whole outro, if you want conversions, of course. That leads us to the step number 4, which is nurture them to the next video. Not everyone is actually ready to buy from you right now. Maybe they just watch your first video or something like that, top of the funnel video or something like that. So you need to send them to your other video. As we already talked in the pattern number 2, we need to chain our videos together, and this is the way we are doing it. We're just telling people, go to other video, watch it, and we are doing that, so we are keeping them into the content funnel. And again, if they spend enough time in our world, they're more likely going to convert later, and they're literally going to come to calls already pre-sold. That actually leads us to the step number 5, which is like and subscribe. Always end it here, but only after we did everything else. We are doing this so we can lower the guard of the people, and in the end we are going to get some engagement, and YouTube is actually push our videos to the right audience. And other the outro itself, there is another thing that can help you with conversions, because a lot of people are not going to watch your videos till the end, and I actually called it the save. So as you can see right here, around 80% of the people won't even make it to your outro. So if you only have CTA at the end, you're missing out on 80% of possible leads. And you might be wondering, okay, but what is the solution for this? And solution is actually pretty simple. That is mid CTA dropped at around 30 to 40% mark right after you given the real value, so viewers or prospects actually trust you. So now I'm going to give you 2 examples of good and bad mid CTA. Let's start with the bad one, which is right here, and it's something like, hey guys, so before we continue, I just want to take a quick second to talk about my program. I have been doing this for years, blah 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 blah. You're making CTA too fucking long. It totally threw people off the video itself. They're like, okay, I'm going to skip it, or they're just going to be, okay, I'm in the video, I'm just going to exit it. I learned what I needed to learn. That's pretty much it. This guy wants to sell me something, I'm going to leave. Well, on the other hand, a good CTA would look like something like this. If you want me to handle your entire YouTube strategy and help you add 10 to 30 qualified calls from it, click the first link in the description and book a free strategy call with me. Also make sure to grab the client acquisition machine checklist so you can find out exactly which of these mistakes is costing you calls. Link will be in the description. And now that we covered and solved this pattern right here that I noticed all the time, we can move on to the 5th one, which is you sound like everyone else. This one is actually a lot harder to spot at first, but once you see it, you'll notice it on almost every channel that never sticks in your memory. Most channels either copy a competitor's angle word for word, or they never repeat their own angle enough to actually stick with people. And if nothing makes you memorable, nothing about you gets remembered. So the actual question that you should be asking yourself is, what actually makes me different from my direct competitors? And for my case, it would be something like this. I'm not teaching people how to become YouTubers or chase views or something like that. I'm teaching them how to actually build acquisition assets for their own business. And here is the bonus case from trading niche, and this is from this guy right here, whose channel is called Run It Up, and he's a trader who stands out in the sea of trading channels just because he uses life path and numerology in his strategy. Same niche, completely different angle. And this guy has been only posting for around a year, and his videos are absolutely printing. As you can see this video right here, it got 116k views 3 months ago, and it is still getting 4 viewers per hour, which is absolutely amazing for a video this old. And his title is What's Your Life Path and How to Use It While Trading. And the reason he exploded inside the trading niche in this short of the time is because when he came to it, his approach felt like a breath of fresh air. And that uniqueness combined with content executed top notch is exactly why he blew up so fast. And if you want to achieve this exact same status, you need to repeat why you're different in every single video. Even though it's going to feel like you're boring people to death, trust me, you're not. Because every new person watching your channel for the first time has never heard of your method before, and he's never heard why you're different, why you're unique. If you don't repeat why you're unique, they'll never connect it back to you, and you won't stand out from your actual competitors. And here's actually how you're going to look like if you're not having a unique angle and you're not repeating it. And here's actually how you're going to look like if you have a unique angle and you're repeating it consistently across every single video right here. You're going to be this black sheep right here over. And you need to answer this question if you want to find what is your actual unique positioning. And it's pretty simple. It's just, what is my unique positioning? That's pretty much it. And this actually leads us to the end of the pattern number 5, and we can move on to the last pattern that I noticed, and I framed it as you're chasing the wrong numbers. And while auditing all of these channels, one thing that really stuck out to me is that how many of the business owners were focused on the totally wrong metrics, and that chase actually led them to make trending videos. And these videos are going to attract wrong audience, they're going to get a lot of views because of that, they're not going to book any calls, and of course when trend dies, this video dies with it too. It is not evergreen, and it is not going to compound over time, and it is not going to bring you any calls at all. And here are actual metrics that those business owners are tracking. First one is views, then we have subscribers, watch time, likes, etc, etc, and they're literally obsessing over these vanity metrics right here. And since they're obsessing with these vanity metrics, it results in them having actually a lot of views, but from random people, which means they created a completely wasted asset. While on the other side, we have business owners who are firstly tracking book calls because they're directly tied to money, and they actually tell us how our video performed because our videos can have low views, especially if you're doing like some of the bottom of the funnel videos, client interviews and all those stuff. Those videos are going to get a lot less views compared to some of the top of the funnel videos, but those are the actual videos that are going to make us a lot money, of course, if we have already sales funnel dialed in. And best way to track book calls is with the application called Trackio, and this video is not sponsored by Trackio at all, but I'm just telling you this is the best way to track it, and in this way you're going to know exactly on which video you should double down and which video you should just avoid doing at all. Moving on, the next metric business owners that are actually making money from YouTube are tracking is CTR, or click-through rate, and it actually tells us if our packaging is good, because as we already talked about, if our packaging is trash and nobody's clicking on it, nobody's going to watch our video. That's the exact reason why Iman tries different thumbnails and all this stuff, because he sees it, his CTR is bad, nobody's clicking on the video, he changes it, and again, a lot of people are coming in, they're interested in all those stuff, and he's just doing that on repeat. And that is the reason why CTR is super important to be tracked. And the last thing that business owners who are actually making money from YouTube are tracking is retention, because it tells us why people clicked up the video. And in here we have 3 different scenarios. Let's start with the first one. And it is the sharp drop at the beginning of the video itself. Click confirmation is maybe bad, intro is too long, you're dragging it all out, maybe a clickbait or something like that. Like there are many cases that we need to have direct look at the video so I can tell you what's actually wrong. The second thing we have is sharp drop at the middle of the video itself. It's probably because of the boring section or no open loop or long mid CTA that throws people off, as we already discussed. And the third actual scenario is sharp drop at the end of the video. This is probably because the CTA is too long or maybe too abrupt. And if you check these money metrics, as I like to call them, it is going to actually lead you to a low to high views, but 90% of them are going to come from your ICP, and this is actually what a real acquisition asset looks like. But here's the worst part that a lot of business owners are doing, and it is that they don't even realize they're measuring the wrong things, and in the end it leads them to booking no calls and just saying, okay, YouTube doesn't work, I'm not going to trust it, blah blah blah, and they're just going to throw it off. And so now you know the 6 mistakes that are probably stopping your channel from booking any calls. But to be honest with you, knowing what these mistakes are and actually solving them are 2 completely different things. So really only have 2 options right now. First one is that you can take everything you learned from this video so far, go back to your channel and try to fix all these mistakes by yourself, or you can let me fix them for you and help you add 10 to 30 qualified calls to YouTube in 90 days, with you only having to spend around 30 minutes per week on recording, and that's pretty much it. All of the other time you can focus on growing your actual business. And this is actually the exact same thing I did for my client Marco, and one video got him over 10k plus views, 200 plus subscribers, which are again vanity metric as we already talked about, but the important thing is that it's got 42% of those viewers from YouTube search, which means this video was heavily SEO optimized, and he from that got around 170 plus qualified leads to his email list, and in the end he upsold a lot of them. And if you want to see the whole interview with Marco, you're going to have the link in description, and if you pick the second option, click the first link in description, book a quick strategy call with me. And if you're not ready for that yet, go and watch the video that just appeared on your screen. In it I show you how I build a business YouTube channel that actually books calls from scratch. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.